No Taylor Sheridan film is complete without a Jon Bernthal. So Taylor Sheridan's Wrath of Man
Excuse me, I meant to say Those Who Wish Me Dead.
is about a smoke jumper played by Angelina Jolie. And she's protecting this boy played by Finn Little, who's being hunted down by two assassins who are played by Aidan Gillen and Nicholas Hoult. So in a market that's currently saturated with superhero films and franchises, Those Who Wish Me Dead is a really nice change of pace. It's a mid-budget action thriller with an ensemble cast, and it almost brings you back to the action thrillers of the 90s. Unfortunately, it's never quite memorable, and it does have quite a few problems. So let's go over the positives first, because there are actually quite a few positives. And one of them is Medina Senghor. I love this performance. It has all the makings of a memorable action hero in the same way that Sarah Connor or John McClane are memorable action heroes. I really like the way Taylor Sheridan writes his characters because they're down to earth, they're relatable, and they have that blue collar appeal to them. At the start of the film, you see that her character is pregnant and she's married to Jon Bernthal's character. A lot of people, including myself, thought that she was going to simply be a thankless role, the damsel in distress. But Taylor Sheridan, he really undoes that expectation, and he actually makes her a competent hero. I buy her relationship with Jon Bernthal, and I'm always rooting for them to make it out of the film alive. And anytime there's any sort of danger that's present between those two characters, I was gripping my seat. And I can't say the same for Angelina Jolie and her performance. I think Angelina Jolie is fine with the role that she's given, but in all honesty, this shouldn't have been her movie. This should have been Medina Senghor's movie from the start. I think one of the issues that Those Who Wish Me Dead runs into is that it never has a clear focus on who the main protagonist is. And it's obvious that it's supposed to be Angelina Jolie, especially considering the fact that you cast Angelina Jolie in a film like this. But the movie jumps back and forth towards different characters like Medina Senghor, like Jon Bernthal, Aidan Gillen, and Nicholas Hoult, that you're never given a consistent character that you're following through the whole film. This is not to say that Angelina Jolie is bad in the film. It's just that she's not given enough material to work with. I understand that she's filled with guilt for letting 3 kids die in a forest fire, but that's about as far as her character arc goes. And there's not enough time to let this character sort of marinate with the audience because it's always jumping back and forth with different characters throughout the film. I think her and Finn Little have great chemistry together, and every sequence with them together is really good. But it's just cut a little too short, and it's never allowed to fully breathe or develop in a way that's emotionally resonant with the audience. And that's one of the biggest issues that I have with the film. I think another major offense of the film is that Aidan Gillen and Nicholas Hoult are some of the dumbest villains I've ever seen in a film. Actually, no. There are quite a few dumb villains in a lot of films like this, but they do nothing particularly smart, and they feel like characters from Home Alone. I'm gonna say that even though they're not memorable, I like seeing Nicholas Hoult taking on characters like this, characters who are a little more sinister, evil, because he's usually playing the protagonist, like in the X-Men films. So this is kind of like a neat change of pace. And if you want more references for him playing villains, you should check out movies like The Favorite, because he's really solid in that as well. Aidan Gillen, however, this guy needs to, you know what he should do? Him and Ben Mendelsohn should team up together, and they should play good guys in a film. I think ever since Game of Thrones, he's been typecast as the bad guy, and you know exactly what kind of character you're gonna get anytime you see him cast in a film. Always that bad guy, like the sneaky little snake, the sneaky weasel, and he's never... I know he's a good actor, and I know he can deliver a good performance, and I'm rooting for him to do something different. If we're going to look at this film in the context of Taylor Sheridan's other work, this is a serious dip in quality. I still think it's a serviceable action film. It's nothing particularly memorable. It's not nearly written as well as his other films, and most of his characters aren't as memorable as characters from Wind River, Sicario. I know he didn't direct Sicario, but he did write it, so this counts. It's a solid 3 out of 5 film. And if you're looking for something to watch late at night on a weekend, you should definitely give this a pop into HBO Max. It's a breezy hour and a half. Is it an hour and a half? Correction, it's an hour and 40 minutes, but I was close. But yeah, it's a breezy time if you're looking for something easy to watch on a late night. So guys, I want to thank you for checking out this review. If you want to check out other reviews that I've done in the past, you can check out my blog, which I've linked down below. I also have an Instagram where I used to write a lot of like quickie reviews, and you could give those a read as well. Yeah, give me a follow on there, subscribe to my blog, and I'll definitely have a review as soon as possible. Thanks a lot, guys. Stay seek.